And today we're going to be talking again about the chapter web pages. And the cool thing about the chapter web pages is that they are already established by BNI and they're already brand compliant and they have a lot of great stuff up there, but you may want to be updating it and kind of making it your own. Now, one of the advantages of using the BNI websites, there's a couple of advantages actually. The first of which is that when it comes to keeping the site updated, really the only thing that you have to worry about is the unique content for your chapter. All of the other things are updated automatically by the system. One of the hardest things to maintain, for example, if chapters have gone in the past and made their own websites, they very quickly get outdated because it's really hard to keep up with the chapter roster and chasing down members to provide bio details and things like that, and then get them to the web person and then get them uploaded. All of that information is pulled automatically from the system in BNI Connect. So once a member updates their profile in BNI Connect, it is updated on all of the BNI websites. So it's updated on the country site. So here in the United States, we have a country site called bniamerica.com. Let me show that to you real quick. Other countries have them as well. So if I go to bniamerica.com, we do have a country level website. And we can search for members here. This should pick up any member in the entire United States. I'm just going to do a search by my name because that's the easiest way to find someone. And here we go. I'm going to click on my name. And as soon as any member updates their profile in BNI Connect, it gets updated here, but then also on the regional site. So I'm going to go to bniri.com, which is our regional site here. And if I click on Find a Member, this will find all the people in Rhode Island and Cape Cod. A couple of Jeremys in the area, but this one is me. So again, this is the same profile, just on a different page. So now I have two places that my profile shows up. And then if I go to my chapter website, which is a subpage of bniri.com/Wakefield, on here, this is our chapter website. It's a very, pretty much a default chapter website. But if I go to our members page, everybody in our chapter has a profile. And now this is a third distinct URL that has my profile on it. Now that's all maintained automatically as soon as I do anything and update my profile. The other thing is that things like the location of your meeting and how many members you have and who the president is and the secretary, all that is all updated automatically as well. It also automatically updates your thank you for closed business numbers, and it automatically updates your speaker rotation. So all of that gets put in automatically. So all you need to do is worry about the stuff that's in the middle of the page. Now that is fairly customizable. Let me show you a couple of examples of some regions or some chapters out there that have done a great job customizing their site. The first one that always comes to mind is one called the BNI Rugby chapter. Oops, not BNIR Rugby, just BNI Rugby. They are in the UK and the Warwickshire region. And here is what they've done so far with their chapter site. You can see that it still has the common elements. So it still has the chapter leadership down the left-hand side and where they meet. It still has, on the right-hand side, they've decided to establish theirs as a big long page with tons and tons of graphics, which is great. Nice mixture of graphics and text. Some quotes from their members. A couple of videos have been embedded. And they embedded a chapter map as well. So all of this, again, is customized by them in their region. They also went and did a chapter members. This is essentially the roster, where every member does have a profile, and they put a header on here to make it look a little bit more consistent with the home page. There's also a gallery page that allows you to put up basically photo albums, where you can put up photo albums of chapter events or members or whatever else you would like to put up there. And you can go and scroll through the pictures. So one of the other chapters out there that I was always impressed with was the Bright Ideas BNI. I'm sorry, it's not the bright ideas. Thank you, Google, for correcting me. This is the golden ideas, not the bright ideas. The golden ideas chapter, they're in the San Francisco area. And you can see they've done something a little bit different with their site as well. What they've done is made a 2-column site. And they still have some common elements, the chapter map and things like that. They're saying, hey, the Golden Ideas chapter is looking for the following people. And they listed some of the top professions that they're looking for. And then if we go to their chapter members page, one thing that they did here was they went and created a way to browse their members by power team. Now this does require a bit of advanced coding. It's something that their web designer did for them, but that is something else that's available here if you have the skill set to do that. So let's take a look. How do we edit and update these chapter web pages, and what can we do to them? So to do that, we do need to log into BNI Connect. So it's the same, you're logging into the same site that you would to pass referrals and everything else that you might be doing. Just log into bniconnect.com with your username and password. You should get to the home screen here. Now, in order to be able to edit the chapter pages, you need to be either on the leadership team, so the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, or your region needs to designate you as the chapter webmaster. Once they do that, then what you'll see along the top here is a menu that says Tools, and that's where everything else in BNI Connect, other than passing referrals and things like that, that's all located along these menus across the top: Network, Operations, Reports, Tools, and Admin. Network is always the social media stuff. Operations is the day-to-day management of your chapter. Reports are always going to be read-only, but you can get some great statistics and other things out of the reports. The place that we're going to go for this special function, which is the CMS or Content Management System, is going to be under Tools. So if you click on Tools, CMS, and then Chapter Websites. So again, that was Tools, CMS, Chapter Websites. Now, once we get to the chapter websites, it is going to show us a list of all of the chapter websites, but it's only going to show you the ones that you have access to. Again, because I'm a system administrator here, it's showing me all of the chapters here in the Antarctica region, where I have my little testing area. Chili Hillbillies and Frosty 5 and the Frozen Assets chapter. Let's go ahead and work with the BNI Burr chapter today. So to do that, I'm going to click this little edit button. And this will bring me into the management of this particular page. Now you'll see this screen is broken into a number of different areas, and we're just going to go through that and see where you can find it. So this first thing is called Pages, and the Pages is really the different pages of the website and the different options that you have for working with them. Below that, you'll see a preview URL and a live URL. Now, how come there's two different URLs? Well, once we start working on the chapter sites, what you're doing is you're actually working on a back-end copy of the website that nobody else can see it while you're working on it. That's called the preview site. It's kind of like working on a draft of the website. Now, what happens is the rest of the world is looking at the full live site. Once you've made all your changes and you're happy with them and you previewed them, what you do is you end up publishing them. So by clicking that Publish button here, what that's going to do is take everything that you were working on your preview site and overwrite and copy it to the live site. So taking a look at this link right now, this is a default, out-of-the-box, never been touched chapter website. Again, default out of the box. It was just created a couple of hours ago by default. You can see the details of this. It still has all of the chapter information in it and who the president and leadership team are. It has the upcoming speakers. It has a default graphic, the thank you for closed business, and a brief description of BNI. And it has these 3 pages across the top: home, chapter members, and news. And you'll see that this corresponds, if I go back to my other tab here, this corresponds to the home, chapter members, and news. Well, there's some other things here as well. Under the chapter members, you can see by this little greater than sign, we have three sub parts to the chapter members pages. We have the member details, the chapter details, and the send message pages. So just so you know what that is, if I go to chapter members, this is the chapter members page. And then if I click on a chapter member here, this is the member details page. And actually, let me go and fix this. Let me go to a different person here. So this is again, a default member that has never filled out their profile, Adam Sandler. But this is the member details page, right? You also see that there is a chapter details page. That's if I click on the chapter name here, it will bring me to a chapter details page. And then finally, there's a send message page. So anybody can send a message to somebody by typing out an email and it will send it. We will not display the email address, but you can customize certain features of this page as well. And then finally, there is a news page. The news page is a special page that allows non-webmasters to create an update. We're not going to get into that too much today, but it's kind of a common shared element. And then you'll also notice there's a gallery page, which was that photo gallery that I showed you guys on the rugby web page. But that one right now is hidden. You'll see it's not showing up here on the live page. That's because it's a gallery. There's no sense showing it until you're ready to use it. So in order to use it, we do have to click this show button over here on the side. And I submit that. And now, when I go back to my page here and refresh it, I should now see a gallery, right? Oh, but you know what? I forgot to publish my page. So let me go back and publish my page. And now if I refresh this one, there we go. Now I see a gallery page. It is empty right now, but we'll go over how to fill that up in just a second. All right, so again, that's the preview and the live URL. That's what these different pages are. Let's take a look. You'll see that there's some tabs along the top here now as well. So we have the Pages tab, which is what we're on now. To the right, we have a Library tab. The library, for those of you that may not be that familiar with web design, in order to get pictures to show up on a web page, they first need to be uploaded to the web server. And we have to do that before we place them on the web pages. That's what this library is. It's your library of images that you would like to use when you're working with your web page. To get them up into the library, we have to upload them onto the BNI Connect servers. So to do that, what we're going to do is click the Upload button, click Browse, and we can just find any pictures that we would like to upload. So let's say the leadership team, and I'm going to grab this goals one. You can do up to 3 different pictures at a time, and it will upload up to 3 pictures. There is a 5 megabyte limit on pictures, but you are unlimited in the amount of pictures that you can upload into the site. Once you get them up there, you'll be able to use them in the site itself. You can also upload documents if you'd like to link to documents that people can download, and Flash objects, though honestly, really nobody's using Flash anymore, especially since most Apple-based browsers don't like them very much. So Flash is still available, though I recommend against using it. The next tab over is the Site Information tab. There's not really too much on this tab that you really want to play with or do anything on. However, there is one important piece on here, and that is the chapter folder name. Now, this is essentially the URL for your website. And as I mentioned before, these sites are automatically generated by BNI Connect. And the way it generates them is it takes our template and then it creates a folder name or a URL based on the region and the chapter name. So in this case, we happen to be in AntarcticReferrals.com and we're in the Shiver region and the BNI Burr chapter. So it put all that in there for the folder name and then put some dashes where there were illegal characters. So if we wanted to tell somebody to go see our chapter site right now, we'd be telling them to go to antarcticreferrals.com/shiver -region -BNI -BRRRR. That's a mouthful. To make it a little bit easier, we can change this chapter folder name, and maybe we just want this to be BUR. So now we can say just go to antarcticreferrals.com/BUR, or maybe we want it to be BNI BUR or BUR chapter or something like that. But whatever we'd like to do there, we can update that. This also gives us the ability to update the buttons and what the titles are. That's these buttons up here and the Visit the Chapter link over on the left-hand side. I don't recommend changing those, at least not without talking to your regional office or your executive director first. Just from a multiple website, however many chapters there are in your region, 20, 30 chapters, I like to maintain some consistency in how those are named. And finally, you can input some analytics code. So if you sign up with or are using Google Analytics or any of the other analytics services out there, you can put their JavaScript code in there and be able to track who's visiting your website and how long they stay and what they click on and all the other demographics that that service may provide. The gallery tab. The gallery tab is very similar to the library tab. This is for your chapter gallery so that you can upload pictures of your chapter and create little photo albums and be able to share some memories. This is, again, very similar to the library. Click on Add Album. We do need to give the album a name. Pictures of our members. These are pictures of our members in action. Right, so we can create an album, give it a description, and at that point what we can do is manage photos. We can add another album, we can delete it, we can edit the album. Managing photos is really the same. We're going to upload photos. Now these ones we can only upload one at a time. Because we do have to give them a title each time. But now once we go back, let me go ahead and, oops, click the wrong button there. Go back to the pages and click Publish. I should be able to refresh this, see the gallery, and now we have a picture gallery, pictures of our members, and it uploaded that photograph. All right, so going back to this Pages tab, let's take a look at some of the things that we can do with each of the individual pages within the BNI Connect chapter website. So for most of these, we have three options. We have Edit Name, Edit Meta Tags, and Edit Content. Edit Name changes essentially the name of the page. So where we have Home, Chapter Members, Gallery, and News, maybe we want to change our chapter members to, instead of calling it chapter members, meet our referral partners or something. You can change that so that it's more appropriate to your group. So I should see that now on the preview page, meet our referral partners. And the page wasn't found because I never republished it after changing the name. So let me go ahead and republish that. Oops. Let me bring this back to the BNI BUR chapter. There we go. And we have our Meet Our Referral Partners, and we should be able to click on any of the names and see their profiles. The second thing here is the meta tags. Meta tags are going to help you get found with the search engine optimization. This is really an art form. I'm going to be completely honest with you, not my specialty. SEO is, again, it's a discipline unto itself. My recommendation is talk to somebody if you have an SEO person in your chapter. or somebody in the region that does search engine optimization, give them a call, get some free advice on that, and put in a good description, keywords, and meta tags that will help you get found on Google. Now, keep in mind, we have the power of BNI's SEO behind us as well, and one of the benefits of this is that there are essentially thousands and thousands of BNI pages out there that are really helping to bump up our search rate rankings. Gabby has a comment. She just said, keyword meta tags are no longer really good for SEO. So thank you for that. So does that mean, Gabby, people probably don't need to pay attention to this as much as they might have had to in the past? She says that the page title is much more important. So, all right, cool. Thank you for the advice, Gabby. I appreciate that. All right, so see, these are the benefits you get when you're on the live webinar. So again, thanks for being here. So the next thing that we have is the edit content. And this is really going to be the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes of what we're doing with our chapter sites. So on the pages, depending on what page you're going to be editing, will depend on which parts of the page you can edit. So let's go ahead and just take a look at our home page. That's pretty much what most people are going to want to update. And I'm going to go ahead and click Edit Content on that. Now, a lot of people have said in the past, well, I click that button and nothing happens. One thing to note, notice how this popped open in another page. If you have a pop-up blocker enabled, it will cause this page to not open up. So you may need to disable your pop-up blocker or allow this site, this one page to allow a pop-up so that you can get into the editing window. Now, once you're here, you'll notice that there's certain parts of the page that we can edit and certain parts that we can't. Notice on the left-hand side, this is where all of the chapter leadership details are. So the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, director, consultant, all their contact information, where your chapter meets. That is all pulled directly from BNI Connect, so we can't really update that in any way. And it's the same thing with the chapter speakers at the bottom. We can't really update that either. What we're going to be concentrating on with this page is really all this stuff in the middle. And that's really what's confined to our editing box here. Now, once we're in here, if you've ever updated a Word document, for the most part, you'll be able to control and update the chapter website. A lot of it is just text editing, going in, retyping things. You can reformat things as well. Most of these are very familiar to, like Microsoft Word, for example. We have our different text sizes. We just highlight stuff. We can change the chapter size. We can, change the font color. You can change the highlighting color. And you can do things like bulleted lists. Or numbered lists, or things like that. Bold, italic, underline, strike through, all the typical Word editing style functions. Some other things that may or may not be too familiar here on the menu. If you are a web designer, as it sounds like Gabby and possibly a couple more of you might be, you can get into the source code for the page. Just click this source button up here at the top. So if you prefer to edit the HTML code directly, you can go ahead and do that. I will give you the warning that it's not necessarily a good idea to go design the page in another web editor and then copy and paste the entire source code into here. There may be certain functions that don't work 100% well when you take that approach. However, you do need the source code for certain things, like if you wanted to embed a chapter map, for example, or you wanted to embed a video, or if you wanted to put a like button for your Facebook page in there. For that, you would need to put that code into the source code. Up here along the top, there's the copy, cut, copy, paste things. These are all up in the right-hand corner. Those are all form functions. That's definitely not something I'm going to get into today. You do need a little bit more advanced programming skills in order to create forms on the page. You also do have to have some back-end code hosted somewhere else outside of BNI Connect. The web-specific functions are here in the bottom left. For example, if you wanted to have a link, go to the support site, right? If I wanted this to go over to our BNI Connect support site, I could hyperlink that and make that go to support.bniconnect.com, right? And that way when somebody clicked there, it would bring them over to BNI Connect. And the other major thing that most people will be doing is putting some pictures on the screen. To do that, click on this picture icon here. And now is where you have had to have your stuff uploaded to the chapter library. If I click that Browse Library, I can see there's some stock stuff in here, but we can see the 1, 2, 3 things that I uploaded. Let me grab this picture of Magnum PI. And it looks like it's a little bit big, so I'm going to shrink that up, maybe 200 pixels wide. Click OK. And now Magnum PI is part of our website. Note that you can also hyperlink images, essentially turn them into a button. So I could always click on this and click on hyperlink. And let's say I wanted that to go to bni.com. I could do that. So if somebody clicked on Magnum Pi here, it would go to the BNI website. Now, when you're all ready, you're all set, satisfied with your changes, click Save. It'll show you a quick preview of your gorgeous new chapter website. And when I'm ready, I can close out of this, publish your site, and you can go see what it looks like to the world now. And here is our gorgeous new chapter website. Now, other pages may have different things that you're able to edit, such as the Meet Our Referral Partners page. Really, all you can update is the header and the footer of this page, because the rest of this, the middle part of this, is going to be pulled in automatically from the system. And other than that, that is the basics of updating and publishing and getting creative with your chapter websites. So what I'd like to do right now is to open this up for any questions. Does anybody have any questions whatsoever? I'd love to answer those questions now. In the meantime, while you are thinking of any last minute questions, just a reminder, this is part of a series. A good referral for me is to please help us to promote this series. Again, you can go to the support site by clicking on this question mark here in BNI Connect. That will take you over to the support site. And under live and recorded webinars, you can click our live webinars series. And the very next webinar in this series is going to be on Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to be talking about leadership team tools and reports. That's the only one that is about an hour in our entire series, because we go pretty deep with all the different functionality available to leadership teams. Next Tuesday, we're going to talk about chapter goals, and we're going to round out the series with the online renewals process. So a good referral for me is to please let your leadership teams and other members know about these upcoming webinars, and then we are going to repeat the whole series in July. So as new members come into your chapter or other people, let them know that they can catch a live webinar next month as well. All right. I see one question from Joe. Joe asks, can we add pages to the chapter site? Unfortunately, Joe, I'm sorry, the pages were limited to the number of pages that we have up there. So as you saw with rugby, you can make that page really, really, really long, but we can't add any pages right now. So sorry about that, Joe. I hope that helps. Awesome. Thank you. Gabby says, very informative. You're very welcome, Gabby. Gabby, I recognize you. You have been on a number of webinars this month, so thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with me here in BNI Connect land. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns, critiques, compliments? We take them all. All right. If not, I will let everybody get back to their busy day. John says good stuff. So thank you, John. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. I'll see you on Monday, Gabby. And for everybody else, happy connecting.